In the heart of a bustling city lies a neighborhood often overlooked by the world outside. Streets lined with worn-out buildings echo the stories of those who call this place home. This is where we meet Alex, our protagonist, a young adult grappling with the harsh realities of life in a low-income area. The daily struggle is palpable here, where unemployment looms large and opportunities seem as distant as the gleam of high-rise skyscrapers visible from the crumbling sidewalks. When you're trapped between hunger and the law, what would you choose? This question pierces through the fog of Alex's thoughts as he contemplates his next move. Caught in the relentless cycle of poverty, Alex stands at a crossroads. He wants a better life, not just for himself, but for his family. Despite his aspirations, every path seems blocked by the towering barriers of economic hardship. As we delve into Alex's journey, we invite you to ponder, how does society expect someone like Alex to rise above his circumstances? Join us as we peel back the layers of this complex issue, traveling alongside Alex in his descent into crime, a journey reflective of many in similar straits. This is not just Alex's story. It's a lens on a broader societal issue that affects countless individuals globally. Through Alex's eyes, we'll explore the intersection of poverty and crime, shedding light on the pressing need for systemic change. Let's walk together on this path as we challenge preconceived notions and uncover truths that are often left in the shadows. Alex grew up surrounded by the love of his family, yet financial scarcity has always cast a shadow over their lives. His parents, once hopeful migrants seeking better prospects, faced the grim reality of low-paying jobs and mounting debts. Growing up in this backdrop, Alex harbored dreams of breaking free from the shackles of poverty. However, the limitations of a faltering education system have left many in his community, including Alex, unprepared for the competitive job market. Schools in the area suffer from underfunding, lacking adequate resources, and experienced teachers. Despite his determination, dropping out became an unavoidable consequence, as Alex prioritized immediate survival over uncertain long-term rewards. After exhausting every possible avenue to find legitimate work, Alex becomes enveloped by a sense of inevitability. The job market seems hostile, with entry-level positions requiring experience he doesn't possess, a paradox he finds maddening. Interviews don't progress beyond the initial pleasantries, leaving Alex disheartened and filled with an overwhelming sense of inadequacy. As days stretch into weeks, the pressure mounts, not just financially, but mentally. A turning point arrives when an acquaintance presents an enticing but dangerous proposition: quick money through less than legal means. Initially resistant, Alex's resolve crumbles under the weight of his responsibilities. Engaging in illegal activities appears as the only viable path to ensure his family's survival. This descent isn't born out of malice, but necessity, a haunting reflection of stark choices faced by many in impoverished areas around the globe. Real statistics reinforce this troubling reality. Studies routinely highlight how individuals in lower socioeconomic brackets often resort to crime as a means of supporting their basic needs. While society may often judge harshly, the undercurrent of desperation driving such decisions remains largely misunderstood. The first time Alex crosses the line from legality into crime lingers vividly in his memory. The act, though small, feels enormous, carrying him over an invisible threshold from which there might be no return. Consumed by anxiety, Alex navigates this perilous new world, marked by an inner conflict that tears at his conscience. It's a night like any other, his neighborhood cast in familiar shadow and neon. As he lifts a pack of food essentials from a local store, his heart races as conflicting emotions surge within him: fear of being caught, yet relief at the thought of not having to sleep hungry for a night. The complexity of his actions mirrors the reality that approximately 80% of crimes in poverty-stricken areas are property-related, driven by the need to satisfy immediate physical needs. While commentators often attribute such acts to inherent moral failings, the data suggests otherwise. Poverty, combined with lack of access to jobs, predictably fuels property crimes, particularly theft. Alex's story embodies this statistic, reflecting a global pattern where law often intersects with survival in painfully inequitable ways. What begins as a desperate measure quickly spirals into habitual reliance. For Alex, what once was an isolated act gradually mutates into a troubling cycle. Each success in skirting the law diminishes his fear, while the monetary gains, however modest, affirm the path he's on. Gradually, Alex becomes more deeply entangled in the web of criminal activities, finding himself integral to networks he had only heard of in passing. This descent into crime comes at a price. The emotional toll manifests as an ever-present undercurrent of anxiety. Relationships fray under the strain of secrecy and deceit. Alex's once vibrant future dreams now seem distant, overshadowed by immediate survival tactics. Moreover, the physical community around him reacts harshly, often through suspicion or ostracism. His life is now defined by transactions in shadowed corners and the constant threat of incarceration. In this narrative turn, familiar real-life stories echo. Countless individuals have experienced a similar progression, trapped between a rock and hard place, only to find their paths leading deeper into realms they scarcely imagined traversing. Highlighting these parallels, we juxtapose Alex's story with the accounts of others who fell into similar traps, a prisoner to his own decisions, yet clearly a victim of broader systemic failings. The story of Alex, unsettlingly common, underscores the systemic barriers that perpetuate the cycle of poverty and crime. For residents of impoverished regions, unemployment rates frequently surpass national averages, fueled by technological changes and outsourcing that diminish local job pools. Ironically, areas most in need of development often see the least investment. Moreover, societal structures often fail in providing the scaffolding necessary to support these communities. Public services, including education and mental health resources, are scarce and overburdened. Real data from sociological studies fortify this portrayal, with reports frequently exposing the stark contrasts between socioeconomic classes and access to fundamental welfare needs. Studies demonstrate the cyclical nature of poverty. The lack of opportunity leads to crime, which in turn perpetuates poverty. Incarceration further exacerbates this issue by stripping individuals of remaining social contracts and job prospects, re-entrenched in a punishing cycle. During times of reform, attempts by governments to implement change often face bureaucratic stymies or lack community-specific nuance, rendering them less effective than intended. Alex's narrative embodies these statistical truths. He finds himself ensnared not solely by his own actions, but by a web woven from generational neglect and structural inadequacies. Discussing attempted reforms and government programs is key, shedding light on areas where interventions do bear fruit, yet are outpaced by those still struggling in the clutches of systemic despair. Within this dark chapter in Alex's life, reflective moments offer glimpses into an internal world filled with guilt, fear, and vestiges of hope. At night, when the city quiets, Alex reflects on his choices with a mix of regret and acceptance. The mirror's reflection each morning becomes a constant reminder of the price paid in pursuing survival, forcing introspective inquiries about identity and responsibility. Quotes from real ex-offenders echo these reflections. Many voice regret for their youthful indiscretions, expressing longing for forgiveness and drive towards redemption. This commonality underscores the potential for change and the fundamental human yearning to belong and contribute positively to society. In sharing these stories, we gain a fuller understanding of the nuanced factors interlinking choice and circumstance. For Alex, aware now of the societal implications of his actions, a stirring hope remains, hope for rehabilitation, not just of self, but of the community. These reflections, poignant and filled with raw honesty, highlight the human capacity for self-examination and growth amidst adversity. The interconnected nature of poverty and crime paints a daunting picture, yet the story of Alex and countless others like him underscores the importance of seeking meaningful change. In recapping the cyclical entrapment witnessed throughout Alex's journey, we reiterate the urgent need for comprehensive societal and governmental reform. Only by addressing these systemic issues can we hope to break the pervasive cycle of poverty leading to crime. Educational reform is crucial. Schools in economically challenged areas must receive the funding required to provide equal opportunities for all students. Access to quality education is indispensable. It serves as a catalyst that can break poverty cycles, fostering skills and hope for future generations. Similarly, robust job creation programs targeted at improving prospects for low-income communities are essential. Advocacy for community-based solutions also holds promise. Initiatives focused on mentorship and rehabilitation can aid in reintegrating individuals into society, offering paths divergent from crime. Support programs addressing mental health and addiction, common companions of poverty-stricken lives, provide the necessary scaffolding for those attempting to escape their societal binds. Yet, recognizing this need for change isn't enough. It calls for active participation and resolve from every member of society. To ignite meaningful reform, we must first embrace empathy and understanding, transcending stigmas associated with poverty. This involves forging connections across socioeconomic borders, fostering environments where all voices are heard, and advocating for policies that cater to community-specific needs. Our story draws to a close, but the question posed at the outset lingers. What are communities and individuals willing to do to break the poverty trap? This reflection challenges us all to consider the role we play in molding a just society, one where no individual feels compelled to choose between hunger and the law. If this exploration into the intersection of poverty and crime resonates with you, consider taking action in your own locale, supporting initiatives aimed at dismantling the barriers described. Engage with local representatives, advocate for policies that promote fair economic opportunities, and volunteer with organizations working directly in affected communities. Small steps contribute to a broader movement towards equity and justice. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Alex's world and the broader societal landscape. Should you wish to continue exploring stories that prompt reflection and encourage societal change, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more eye-opening content. Together, let's champion the cause for enduring change. In the heart of a bustling city lies a neighborhood often overlooked by the world outside. Streets lined with worn-out buildings echo the stories of those who call this place home. This is where we meet Alex, our protagonist, a young adult grappling with the harsh realities of life in a low-income area. The daily struggle is palpable here.